Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conscious Conversations. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. So I'm the founder of the Transformation Center, which is based in Westport, Connecticut. And at the center, in addition to the private individual shamanic healing and transformation coaching sessions that I do, I also love to host workshops and classes with other practitioners so you can learn from them. And everything is really focused on helping you rediscover who you truly are and let go of who you're not. So I would love to talk to you. I do offer a 30-minute free complimentary phone conversation just to talk. So we're going to put up the information with the website, and all the information is on there, when the events are, contact info, all of that. And it's basically just Transformation Center CT for Connecticut.com. So I'd love to hear from you. All right. Well, thanks for being here tonight for Conscious Conversations. I'm very excited that my guest is Beth Anesi. Welcome to the show, Beth.
Thank you so much, Katie. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm thrilled you could make it down. It's a little ways for you to drive. And I'm going to read a little bit about you before we get started. And, we just met recently.
Very recently.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you're available to do this.
Yeah.
And I'll give a little plug for TLC, because this is an amazing holistic health practitioner group called Tribe TLC now, because it's expanded all over Connecticut and parts of New York. And so you're pretty new to the group, is that?
I'm very new and have been loving it. I've met so many great people, yourself included. It's just such a great opportunity to meet people that are living a little more consciously and wanting to share that.
Yeah, wow, that's a good way of putting it, right. And for practitioners, it's wonderful because it's a network of like-minded individuals, and we can share, collaborate on things. And for people who are looking for practitioners, there's a network of us, and there's a directory on the website.
On her website,
so that's tlc.com. So a little plug for TLC. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit about you now,
Okay.
and then for our audience to get to know you before we get started. So Beth Anesi is a Dragon's Way Qigong instructor. She's founder of 5-Element Path and a wellness guide. And we're going to put up your contact info, too, so they'll know how to contact you and see your website and everything. So Beth has been practicing and teaching Dragon's Way Qigong, which we're going to learn about later. I'm not familiar with it, and other related Qigong classes for over 2 decades. Wow, this goes way back.
Goes way back.
And during this time, you were also spending, you said 25 years as a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, that's amazing. But what gives Beth her, special sauce, I think, is that it was a lived experience with being that stay-at-home mom, and the experience deeply informs her grounded, compassionate approach to balance and health that honors the body. Wow, that's a beautiful way of describing it.
Thank you.
It really is. Yeah, and she's dedicated to teaching Qigong because it offers a simple, practical way to exercise the body and mind together that supports healing as an integrated experience rather than something to fix. Wow, that is so true. That's like right up my alley.
That's awesome.
There's nothing wrong here.
No, we are completely whole. The universe has provided everything. It's just up to us to tap into that.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the message of Qigong.
Yes. And I've done a little bit, but I can't say I know that much about it. So we're going to talk about that. But first, I'm always curious for my guests, like, how did you get into this to begin with?
Oh, well, that's a great question, Katie. I am, or have been, historically, a searcher. I'm always searching. And I want to say it probably really started when I was in my 20s. It was before I had my first child. And I was really looking for, how do I get back to basics? How do I get back to the basic fundamental needs, the basic fundamental desires? Because there's, as you know, in the world, there's so much noise. Yeah. And even when I'm in my 20s, there was still a lot of noise. It was really ramping up at that point. So I tried yoga classes, which were great. They were really relaxing. I tried macrobiotics, which was amazing. Also really taught me so much about different foods and how they affect you, what their essences are.
Yeah.
And And then because things in your life, and you might have known this yourself, they overlap. All of a sudden, you're going from yoga to macrobiotics. And then all of a sudden, I found myself, studying Rudolf Steiner. And then from there, traditional Chinese medicine. And traditional Chinese medicine is the one I still draw on everything, because how can you not? It brought me to where I am today. However, traditional Chinese medicine and Qigong, it takes me deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's such a journey of self-cultivation. I have nothing to prove to anybody else. Wow. It's all just there for me.
Wow. Yeah. So was this kind of a solo journey for you?
In terms of...
like discovering things on your own and then incorporating them to your life, or were there other, like a group situation? How did
Not really. It was really just me looking for, I don't feel quite right. How can I feel right? Okay. Knowing there's nothing wrong, right? There's nothing wrong. Yeah. Just something's off. I'm looking for more. I'm looking for something deeper.
Okay.
I want a deeper understanding. And really, it ultimately became that I wanted a deeper understanding of myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, because that is usually where it starts.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that experience as well, and I think a lot of us do. We start wanting to be aligned and the best we can be in terms of our health, our body, our soul, all of that. And then once we discover it, then we want to help other people.
That's right. Exactly. We want to take it out. And then in between, I had the ability to help it inform my parenting. And so my parenting style, of course, I was also blessed with an amazing partner. So I should say that right off the top, in case he watches.
Of course.
And he might. So I just want to say he's amazing, and he's been so supportive throughout all of my, I don't like to use the word crazy, but throughout all of my explorations.
Okay.
So he's been with me all along, and not necessarily wanting to take part in them, but really okay that I was.
Right.
So
that goes a long way, just being supportive.
It's so true. Yeah. It's so true. So I was really able to dedicate myself to my children and to our family, to our home, and creating, something special there. And, I was raised a certain kind of way, as we all were, and my parents were also raised a certain kind of way. So it kind of goes back and back and back. And I knew when I had children, I wanted to do it the way I really would have liked it.
Okay.
So that's really and Qigong helped me do that. It brought me so much peace.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was really, I don't want to say a side benefit, because it's pretty central.
It's pretty huge
to your life.
Yeah.
Considering that's really important to you.
Yeah.
But it informed how you looked at things, I guess, whatever that was.
That's right. How I could appear. How could I be present with my family? That's really what it informed. Okay. So, and of course, I had my ups and downs. It wasn't all perfect.
No?
By any means. I know. Isn't that crazy?
What a surprise.
I know. Shocking.
Yeah, but you had the fundamentals, like you said.
Yeah.
And you gravitate towards Chinese medicine, right?
I did.
Other people have different paths.
That's right.
But it's so interesting what resonates with us, how that, and so, I don't know, in my philosophy, there's probably something that goes way back for you.
Maybe not definitely not in the heritage I'm aware of.
No, not necessarily in this lifetime.
No, not in this lifetime. I don't think so.
But it feels like it resonated with something that was there before.
I would guess that's very true. Yeah. I would completely agree with you on that. So because I have completely taken it, and this is the way I live now.
Yeah,
so
and made it your own
I've
life.
Made it my own. That's right.
So it's become a lifestyle.
That's right.
So it's health, well-being. You mentioned that you're a wellness guide. So I want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Because I also agree that we do have everything we need inside of us, but sometimes we do need a guide because we didn't learn this growing up, for sure.
That's right.
I mean, most of us didn't.
Right.
A few fortunate people had enlightened parents, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it's hard to start it on your own like you did, I think, without that background. And so having that as your North Star, so how do you incorporate that? Why is it important for you?
It's important for me because if I go back to my parenting and how, I really believed that I was just going to follow in the footsteps of my parents.
What came before.
Exactly. I figured, I'll just do all the same things. My husband assumed we would just do all the things that were done to us because we turned out okay. And then I don't know what clicked. Something shifted. And I realized, oh no, I think there's a better way, and I need to figure that out. And I really think, looking at my son, he was born in 1998, and looking at his sweet little face and realizing, oh, he really deserves better. I really want to preserve this goodness. Yeah. I want to preserve these childlike qualities for as long as possible, and not necessarily. I'm not suggesting, keep them babies too long, but let them really enjoy the full thrust of a real childhood. Yeah, so that's really keep it with little stress. I was looking for, and really when I look back on it, that's really what informed me, was that I had a lot of stress growing up. Oh, right. Okay. So, and again, I was raised a certain way. My parents did a great job. Again, I'm very happy and I love them very much.
Sure.
And they had a lot of challenges that they really weren't aware of. I remember my mother used to say, oh, I don't need sleep. I could get by in 2 or 3 hours. And of course she would do that, but then the fallout would be very like the patience of a very short fuse. For the rest of us, but she never made the connection. Uh-huh. She never made that connection. Yeah. And I only recently made that connection
how
myself.
Sleep is.
Right. I realized, that's why she was really starved for sleep. She needed rest. My poor mother, she had no idea how much she needed rest.
Right.
So I think that that as my guide was, I wanted my kids to not have to deal with stress. Not that they didn't have to deal with things. They had to be accountable for their stuff and, so I'm not saying, I made it so easy for them. All I did was just create solace in our home. And that was my goal.
They're going to get plenty of stress outside the home.
That's right.
I mean, let's face it.
That's right.
Just our world. And,
that's right.
I think a little bit of stress is probably good in a way, because it forms, strengthens you in a way.
Yeah.
But big stress, no.
Well, I always think of a line. You need a little bit of stress to hold a line.
Oh,
right?
That's a great
If there's
analogy.
too much stress, it'll break.
Yeah.
And if there's not enough stress, you get a wet noodle.
Yeah. That's a great analogy. Yeah.
So same idea. So it's very Goldilocks. You need the perfect amount of stress.
Yeah, right. Well, as we know, nothing's perfect, but
right,
it sounds
exactly.
like you were able to hit that balance.
Yeah.
Pretty
Sometimes, most of the time, I would say.
How old is your son now? Well, 98. I could do the math.
Yeah, he's no need. He's 27.
Okay.
And he lives in Germany. Oh. And my daughter is 20. In fact, that's how burned out I was. It took me 7 years to feel ready to have another baby.
Okay.
Because it was just, I really had so much to figure out. Yeah. There was so much to learn. And when my daughter came along, I had already started Dragon's Way Qigong. Oh. And so her beginning was so very different from his. In fact, she will often say that he was my first pancake, which we all know how hard it is to flip a first pancake. That's usually the one that the cook eats while she's standing next to the stove, or he is standing next to the stove. So that's the joke. The one thing that I love about my relationship with both of my kids is that all of my son's friends will say that my daughter is my favorite. All of my daughter's friends say that my son is my favorite.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So it's perfect.
Yeah, right. You nailed it.
I got it. I'll stay right in that sweet spot.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's terrific.
Yeah.
And so they were like your not guinea pigs. I don't want to use that term.
No, they weren't my guinea, but that would be my North Star. I really, really wanted to create the family that I would have wanted. I wanted to create the family that my parents would have wanted. It's kind of like it's a salute to my bloodline, I guess, to kind of break the cycles that were a little more stressful, and to create something new, something shiny and new, but still building a little bit on what the past brought to me.
Right, to honor it, like you said. No, that's beautiful, Beth. It's I think, we can go back and by what the actions we're taking now, we can go back and heal generations behind us.
I agree. Reciprocal healing is the way I think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are your parents still with us?
My parents are still with us. And it's interesting because I remember a very well-meaning relative once said to me about my son when he was little, I really think you should spank Christopher. He really needs to be spanked because he needs to know who's in charge. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting take. And my mother recently said to me, I'm so glad you never took that advice, because she was on the fence about it. She also felt like, how is he going to be raised? He's going to be a wild child. Like, he'll never understand. And now she really is the first one to say, wow, that was
smart.
Thank goodness you didn't listen to that well-meaning relative. I'm really grateful because she adores her relationship with him, and our family is very close as a result because we chose a different route.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is definitely inspirational to hear, and it's possible for everybody. I mean, whatever path you choose, it doesn't have to necessarily be Qigong, but something that gets you to that, like you were describing, that peaceful place, that inner peace of knowing that everything is okay about you, and then you can pass that on to your children or your family if you don't have children. Whoever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's also something for people to understand is it can happen anytime along the journey. You can have this awakening anytime. My son was already, he was a little bit old. Well, he was probably around 3 years old when I think I really started to shift. And I really realized the things I was going to have to do to change this, because, oftentimes people just want to fix their children. And, and this is where traditional Chinese medicine comes in. When there's a problem with the child, you don't fix the child, you fix the caregiver. You fix the mother, you fix the child, you fix the mother, the father, the parent, whoever the caregiver is, because that's really the root. That is the root cause.
That is so interesting. Yes, I agree with you. And I remember about a year ago speaking with a guest who works with families, and she always really insists on having the parents be part of it, because it's always a group dynamic, and it starts with the parents, clearly, because the child is just a child. We're the adults in the room, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember going to see a therapist for when my son was 9, so my daughter was 2. And I found myself, here's a true confession, I found myself yelling at him a lot. Like I was just really losing my temper. And I thought, wow, there's really something going on here. So I got a name of a therapist from a friend, and I called him. And I said, I am yelling at my 9-year-old an awful lot. And I'm pretty sure he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing, and I'm the problem. Do you think you can help me?
That's amazing. To me, that sounds so enlightened.
Well, and actually he said to me, wow, he said, you're one in a million. He said, I can definitely help you. So I worked with him for many, many years. I just knew, because again, I had slipped into, when we're stressed, we will go on autopilot and we'll do the way we were shown. That's how we're wired. So that was the beginning of my quest to not continue that journey or that trajectory with my son and really destroy any relationship we'd be able to have as when he was a teenager and beyond.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to do something to nurture our connection.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you, first of all, realized that, and second of all, acted on it.
Yeah. I don't know where it came from. It's definitely divine intervention. Nobody else, I'm the oldest of 4, and nobody else really, they all think I'm a little, out there. Well. And everybody was nervous that I was holding my daughter too much or not spanking my son or...
Well, I really want to acknowledge you for standing up for what you knew to be true.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. It was,
because that takes a lot.
It really can. It can. However, I think that when you know in your heart, and this goes back to what you said, not everything resonates with everybody. Yeah. When you know in your heart, yes, this change needs to be made. It makes it a little easier.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You were confident about it
Yeah.
because you knew in your heart. And that's what I, try to get people to do all the time is listen to their heart.
Yes.
And not, those little voices in our head, whether they're from us currently or from our past, bringing up from our parents or even well-meaning relatives like you had.
That's right.
And to just stay true to yourself.
Yeah. It's true.
Wow. Why don't we talk a little bit about Qigong itself?
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how the practice works?
Sure. So Qigong in general, Qi means energy. It's your vital life force. And Gong is translated as work or practice. So it's literally energy practice. And within Qigong, so I view Qigong, as does my teacher, as a vehicle for whatever you want to do. In my case, it was to raise a great family and to keep some peace for myself. For you, it would maybe something completely different, right? So everybody has their own goal. So Qigong becomes a vehicle for you to understand yourself and to really listen to your body, because that's really where the wisdom is. You were mentioning the mind before, and your body is a mirror of your mind. So anything you see on your body, it's giving you a warning that there's something not quite right, not broken, not unwhole, but just not quite right. So that's what I love about Qigong. And the system also it's given me more faith in myself and belief that the way we started the conversation, I have everything. The universe literally gave me everything, knowing everything I would need. It's solely my job to access that information and to use it.
Yeah.
So.
And to align with it.
That's right. That's right. And not waste it.
Right.
There's always a balance involved. So that's what Qigong does. It helps bring you into balance, and you are literally able to work your body, your mind, and your spirit all in one practice without having to go here for one thing, there for another. Yeah. In one practice, you can do it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, so it's a series of movements that have meaning.
So in Dragon's Way Qigong, there are a series of 10 Uming movements, and they're meant to exercise your meridians. I don't know if have you had acupuncture? Yeah. So anyone who's had acupuncture would know what I'm talking about. But your meridians are essentially your energy network inside your body. It's completely invisible, but it's exactly what makes you you. Exactly what makes you you. That's your essence right there. And it's really difficult to get to because it's very, very, very deep. Yeah. So the way to do it are these movements. And back when these movements were kind of created, or I guess I would even almost say discovered by the ancient sages, they had a very different connection with nature than we do now. We know we're kind of cut off, but they were not. So they could see things that we can't necessarily see today. So again, just giving me more faith that, oh, thank goodness somebody preserved that and is willing to share it. And it's made such a difference in my life. So again, as I'm sitting here talking, I realize, oh, could sound fluffy, or it could sound, woo-woo. Mm-hmm. Although I'm sitting here as an example of it, right? So I'm definitely not a person that sticks with something that doesn't work. I'm way too practical for that.
You seem very practical. Yeah. I think we have that in common. I'm also very practical. Yeah. But you try, and you did try a lot of things at the beginning. You said you were searching, seeking. Yeah. And you hit on this.
And this really captured. And as much, there have been times when I felt like I really want to stop. I really want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. And I just couldn't. I was compelled to continue. Yeah. Right? Because in any journey, there's discomfort. You end up in a valley and you feel like, okay, this isn't for me, but it still was for me. Yeah. Even in the valley.
And it keeps you healthy and happy. Yeah. So do you practice every day? What does that look like?
I do. I practice every day. I have a lot of things that I practice because I've been doing it so long. I've done several trainings with my teacher. So there are many, many different practices that I do. Dragon's Way Qigong is a great entry point for people to really experience their own energy, which is essentially what we're asking, right? Like that's the goal. That's the dream, that I can sit here and talk about it all day until you actually feel it. Then that's where the spark is ignited.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens.
That is.
I think that's just true of so many things that we do related to healing and energy. It's experiential.
Yes.
And that's how I first got, involved. I went, wow, this really is amazing. If you've never thought about it, you wouldn't be aware. And then you have to experience it.
Yeah.
So you can't just talk about it.
That's right.
So your business is called?
Five Element Path.
5 Element Path.
Mm-hmm. It's very new. It's a very new business. I'm currently teaching at Balancing for Life in Armonk, New York. I'm doing in-person classes.
Great.
I have actually starting tomorrow Qigong for breast health, which is just for the ladies.
Okay.
And it's such a great class. It just talks about, how we talk about how stress gets stuck places.
Yes, it does.
Right? And
yes.
so Qigong is, again, a vehicle to help you move that through and get that feeling of a clear running stream down the mountainside, right? That's what we're looking for, not the mucky, gucky pond that is all that you really wouldn't want to put your feet in.
No, that's beautiful because I work with the chakras a lot, and that's it. It's like, having everything flow and work how it's meant to work.
That's right. Well, then that's also a big tenet of traditional Chinese medicine. Yeah. When qi is flowing freely throughout your body, then disease, illness, and injury cannot enter. Because it's just, there's no room, there's no opening, there's no space.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is preventative.
Exactly.
Which I think we're aligned on that.
I think so.
Because health is so important as humans to take care of ourselves, our bodies, and this is one way of doing it.
That's right. This is one way. There are other very easy ways. Again, when we talk about gifts from the universe, I think people take for granted sleep.
Yeah.
They take for granted the ability to cry, the ability to laugh.
Yeah.
Those things are just they're gifts. They're the ability to do that, to cleanse yourself through a good cry or through a good laugh, right?
I never thought of it. It's a good way of expressing it. But it's releasing the emotions so they don't get stuck.
Exactly. Keep everything moving. And that's literally a gift from the universe to be taken advantage of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I hope our audience takes advantage of that.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so too.
Yeah. Well, I think we're just going to have to wrap up. We have about another minute.
Okay.
Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to share today?
I think that I'm just really excited to have been here with you today, and it went by so fast.
I know.
I just want to say that.
30 minutes goes by fast.
Yeah, but we covered a lot of good ground, and I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Oh, absolutely, Beth. I'm glad you're able to come. So we'll put up your slide one more time so people can check out your website and learn more. And I'm sure you're happy to have a conversation with anybody.
Always, yes. Yeah. All my information is right there. Give me a call. And again, I would offer a complimentary call to talk about what your needs are.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. And you travel all around the state, it sounds like.
I will. And New York. Yeah. It's true. It's true. I used to teach Dragon's Way on Madison Avenue, in fact. So before COVID, pre-COVID, at a psychologist's office. So I do like to take it on the road.
Yeah. And are you actively looking for places to host your
Sure,
classes?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I actually love the idea of being a Tupperware, like a Tupperware model.
Yeah.
That, you get a group together and I will bring the show to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here. And thank you to our audience today on Conscious Conversations and the Westport Library. Love you guys. Take care. Namaste.